If I told you I packed everything I needed to survive a cold night onto the back of this motorcycle, would you believe me? You shouldn't. I cheated by throwing some stuff into my mate's car. This is the tale of a man and his machine attempting to strip back to the bare necessities and survive a night under the stars. The journey begins in the bowels of Melbourne's southeast. We're heading over to Wallen and spending a night at my mate's place, after which we're going to head over to Murrindindi and camp for the night. Before I get the absolute pleasure of hopping on my bike and riding off on a brilliant adventure, I've got to pack my gear. I absolutely suck at this part. I somehow manage to pack both too much and not enough. But it's chill. I'll get better at knowing what I need and don't need the more I do this. I'm using this purpose-made motorcycle bag to carry my kit, and it's pretty awesome. I've managed to fit a table, chair, sleeping mat, sleeping bag, pillow, and tent all into this one duffel. Unfortunately, that doesn't include any other essentials such as food, water, clothing, toiletries, and so forth. I was able to fit a bunch of stuff into my backpack, but the rest had to go in my mate's car.
Alright, love you on me.
Off we go. The CRF 250L is horrible on the freeway, so I checked the no freeway option on maps. What a beautiful ride, man. I was feeling fresh, the weather was good, and I had an awesome weekend to look forward to. After about 2.5 hours, I arrived in Wallen with a dead phone, a flashing fuel gauge, and a bursting bladder.
Yeah, man, phone's completely dead, nearly out of fuel. I'm close. We're in Wallen, which is where we're supposed to be. Man, we were so close. 7 minutes. Oh, fucking up. I need to pee so bad too. I'm gonna try another way to get onto this bike, and it's by like kung fu kicking up onto the seat. Like, I'm flexible enough to do it, but my pants may not be. Alright, no, we did it. That wasn't too bad. Bro.
Pretty good. Sick bike.
Thank you, dude.
We stayed the night at my mate's place, which would be serving as home base for our trip. First thing this guy did was open up his laptop and get straight back to work. What a good corporate drone. We woke up after a relaxing night and headed into town for a fuel and food run. I threw on my helmet, gloves and boots only to be greeted by an uncomfortably chilly ride. In hindsight, I should have worn my riding jacket, as I'd have been both safer and warmer.
I feel like a sausage casing in my jeans, and I've got 3 layers under this jacket.
After gearing up and giving the bike a quick once over, we set off in a cute little convoy. This part of the journey, pure bliss. We tore through the country roads of Victoria, making good time as the speed limits are so high compared to our metro regions. After this morning's supply run, I took no chances and donned as many layers as I could, including my thermals. The only problem is I'm still running my vented summer gloves, and at a consistent 100 k's an hour, I was starting to lose feeling in my fingertips. The fog thickened and the cold continued to strengthen its bite as we neared our destination. The CRF 250 was designed to stray from the beaten path, yet I had spent hours riding on the asphalt. I was beginning to wonder if I should have taken the Ninja 400, which would have been much better suited for these long stretches of high-speed country road. You can imagine my joy when I was finally met by some dirt and gravel road just before our site. Those 5 minutes made me glad I brought the CRF along. We set up camp and dug our heels in around a fire pit. What a setup! We've finally arrived. All our gear is up and running. We've got a fire going, a pot with some water in it so that we can enjoy some cup noodles for lunch. Yum. One of these tents is not like the other. Look at it. The fog rolled in and brought along with it a beautiful yet eerie sense of calm. It also fueled the cold, which was now starting to cut pretty deep. We huddled around a fire, enjoying the simplicity of the entire experience. We spent the night cooking, laughing, and sharing a few bevs, all the while staring into the beautiful flickers of nature's TV. It was almost a spiritual experience, to be honest. I loved it. You're forced to slow down, focus on cooking, and just enjoy each other's company. But then came the not so fun stuff, falling asleep. If you watched my first motocamping adventure, you'll know that my biggest adversity was attempting to catch some Z's. This time, I prepared a bit better. I brought an extra pillow and a foam mat to lay on top of my hiking mat. I even did a practice run at home to see if I could get some shut-eye on this setup. No dice, unfortunately, so my expectations were low. As predicted, I barely got any sleep. It was a torturous night, lying there wishing I could get some shut-eye. The cold was unforgiving too, cutting through to anything that wasn't armoured by at least 5 layers of thermals, jumpers, sleeping bag and merino blanket. Morning could not have come any slower. I woke up feeling fatigued and tired, but stepping out of the tent and filling my lungs with that crisp morning air helped perk me up.
Good morning, we're up. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, not quite, unfortunately. I encountered the same issue I had during my first motocamping trip, and that was struggling with the air mattress and my sleep. Didn't get very much of it again, and my back's kind of cooked from it. It's just rough, man. Everything about this experience is amazing, but then it comes to the sleep side of things, and it really throws a damper in things because I wake up and I feel so tired, but not tired enough to go back to sleep. Got a very ashy fire going for our breakfast, some bacon, Grill Master Nisra clucking his tongs. He knows what he's doing. Well, for now, I'm enjoying a Milo. Breakfast is going, the fire is kind of going. I think it's going to be a good day.
Everything that was exposed to the elements was covered in a thin layer of ice. We got the fire going again and spent the morning packing up and cooking lunch. One thing I noticed is how long it took me to get my gear sorted back onto my bike. I had to meticulously pack everything down and play Tetris with my luggage to get it all to fit. The fellas were able to loosely roll their stuff up and throw it into their cars. After a delicious campfire cooked meal, we began our journey back home. I was feeling tired, depleted, yet extremely fulfilled. Although the trusty CRF is far from perfect for this application, it stayed true to its reputation as a dependable, reliable workhorse, and for that I'm grateful. It got my luggage and I there and back in one piece. This motocamping adventure wasn't necessarily a comfortable experience. My back was pretty sore after riding with a fully loaded backpack. The CRF isn't exactly ideal for long stretches of high-speed tarmac. My sleeping situation is still a nightmare, but it wasn't meant to be a breezy trip. It was meant to challenge me by stripping things down to what I could, for the most part, carry myself. Each time I do this, it kind of shows me what I can live without. Would I do this again? Absolutely. The experience will be even better once my sleeping setup reaches a successful iteration. Next time, I'll bring a better pillow and maybe a sleeping bag rated for Antarctica. I'll also look into some extra luggage options for the CRF so that I won't have to rely on mates with cars anymore, but I'll give motocamping a few more tries before fully committing to the cause. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I will catch you on the next one.
You say you got them guns, but I've never seen you bang. You say you got them drugs, but I've never seen you slang.